and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you wonder about that strange title, or if you just want to hear the message, stick around to the end for a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. So that's pretty cool. But for now, we're going to bring you a reaction to DIMASH, QUDAIBERGEN, and igorkrutoyreaction. I hope that's pronounced like that. OLIMPICO. You guys told me about this. You said it was great. So here we go. As always, he's this amazing showman, right? He's just this amazing showman. I love that he does that. I wish I knew what the words were, but I looked around for one and I could not find one that was this particular show that had English subtitles. But let us continue. Are those actual people that are kind of like being somehow lit up behind a screen or something? Wow, that's pretty cool. That's the show. I mean, the showmanship and the extravaganza of this is just extraordinary. Like, wow. I just wish I knew what it said. Come in the comments and tell me what this thing is all about. By the way, I now have membership tiers, guys. You can go and check out my membership tiers. I can bring you a lot more of your requests and things like that because I don't have to worry about the YouTube algorithm and things that I like to do also. So go check out the little video I made about that. But let's continue. Swear that was a woman. If you didn't know, you would swear that was a woman singing. He just changed from his lower register male to the woman's range. Wow. Up. It's not just the stage, the entire place where the audience is and everything is lit up. This is unbelievable pageantry. Holy cow. Go back a little. even know how many of you are singers out there. But that note would have been hard for even a woman to hit. Holy moly, this guy is unbelievable. Oh. How did he reach that note? Oh, we got to hear that again. We got to hear that again. Oh my goodness. Come on. How did he reach that note? I wish I was there. I wish I was there. That was so unbelievable. I'm guessing this Igor Krutoy, perhaps he's the person that did the lighting. Is that true, folks? Put that in the comments. Let me know if he's the one that did the lighting, because, you know, I'm trying to figure out what part he played in this, you know, or maybe he did the pageantry, perhaps. So let me know about that. But, oh, unbelievable. That guy has a voice. I don't even believe that that is possible in the human voice. In the human male voice, I don't even believe it's possible. Which leads us to my message in a few minutes. I don't even believe it's possible, but there it is. There it is. Oh my goodness. Let's put it on my scale. You know, and by the way, if you're enjoying this, please subscribe and like, and give me a like, give them a like. It's in the notes. It's always in the notes. But let's put it on my scale. 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, sadness, anger. 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss, inspiration. It feels very inspirational to me. Now, I don't know what the words mean in the least. And you can put it in the comments. So I'm doing this sight unseen on the words, but just the way, the feel of it, the way it felt to me, and the music and the visuals, and this was like very inspirational, like really, really inspirational. So sight unseen on the words, I'd have to go on this one, was like a 9.5. Really, so extraordinary. So extraordinary. Now, if you tell me that the words are about peace and love and bliss and creating a world that works for everybody, then it'd have to go higher. And by the way, we're not talking about how extraordinary he does his work, because that would be off the 1 to 10 scale. You don't even have a scale high enough for that. So, but that's what that's my 1 to 10 on, you know, how much it pulls us toward the higher dimensions. And that was really, really pulling. That was extraordinary. Thank you for suggesting it, those of you who did. By the way, friends, if you'd like to know a little bit about me, you can go to the About Me video here on this channel, which also leads you to a longer video, if you so desire, about what I call my forged in the fire journey of this third dimensional Earth. And if you want to know about some of the things I've created, there's a link right here in the notes to my About Lorelei on Patreon, which has some things that might be of service to you. So, but that was so fabulous, wasn't it? It just puts a smile on my face. So let's get to our 5D message. How can we change what we actually believe? How can we change what we actually believe? Well, you just saw it right there. I really, coming into this, would not have believed that was possible. But there it is. It's possible. It's happening, right? So you see, a belief. If you think about a belief, you think about the word believe and the word know, okay? There's a difference between these, right? These two words. The word believe. The word know, for instance, says, okay, I know. Like, I know that, my name is Lorelei. I know that I live in this house in Springfield. I know that, the sun rises in the morning and sets at night. Actually, the earth turns. I know that. I know that. It's not a belief. I know that, right? I know that every day the sun's going to rise and fall, or the earth is going to turn such that it seems like the sun is going to rise and also set, I know that I have a couple of sisters. I know that I have 3 children. These are things I know. I don't believe that I have 3 children. I don't believe that the sun is going to rise and set every day. I know it. I know it, okay? There's a difference. So when you think about the very word believe, okay, it already, see, we say to ourselves, well, how could I possibly change what I believe? Why should I change what I believe? And then how could I change what I believe? Well, we'll talk about the why in a minute too, but let's talk about the how first of all, because already we see there, you've tweaked in. There's a difference between know and believe. You see, know is something, there's no question about that. Period, end of story. Believe is something, well, I believe it, but other people believe something different. I believe that we're going to create this world that works for everybody, but somebody else could believe something different. Actually, I know that myself, but I'm just giving you an example, right? I believe that the U.S. government is going to clean itself up and become really great, right? Somebody else say something different. They believe something different. You see, the very fact that we can believe different things, right? It interjects some doubt as to whether what we believe is actually true. It interjects an ability to actually change what one believes, you see. And I had to work with this a lot, because if you can understand, like, my mindset, my belief set, when I was first beginning to grow and develop, and I just didn't see a possibility that all I wanted was to just be a person who, like, was strong and confident and could say what I needed to say without editing 99% of the thoughts in my head, and not worry about what somebody else thought of me, right? That's all I wanted. That was but to me, that looked like almost impossible to achieve, right? That there, just to change me, it looked pretty, I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't have a strong belief I could do it, but I began to do the things that cultivate belief. I began to practice, first of all, putting one foot in front of the other, to have confidence in myself, and like to stand up for myself, and to doing affirmations and going to meetings with other people had more powerful belief sets than I did, that what they could do or how they could do it. You see, I had to change the thoughts in my head. I had to literally change what I believed in order to be able to actually accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I saw a little vision of it. But I certainly did not, in any strength of imagination. I kind of believed I could do it, and if I could put one foot in front of the other, right? But I had to actually come to the knowing state on that, right? And that's when I was able to do that. So you see, thinking that I could probably not do it, but having that little shred of a belief, that allowed me to cultivate more and more and more belief. That's for something that's positive, that we want to believe. That's a good thing, right? Okay, so you want to believe that the world is changing. So, like, you start to look at the ways that the world is changing for the better. Now you start to look at it. You start to build a case for yourself. This is how you can change your belief from thinking that the world is crap, which is not a very good belief to have if you want to create a world. If you're a divine spark of God, which we are, and you want to create a world that works for everyone, you could start looking at the things that actually work in the world to start shifting that core belief that you have that it can't be done. So, there are so many ways to shift your beliefs. There's affirmations, there's just getting in with groups of other people who think a different way, who start to bring you a different way of thinking. I went into Al-Anon groups when I first started for loved ones, people who had a loved one with an addiction, and they were thinking a whole nother way I'd never ever thought before. And that was changing my beliefs. And then I went into personal growth and development. And again, they were thinking in an even more extraordinary way. And now I was started to crumble down some of the core beliefs I have had about myself. About how I was broken, or there was something wrong with me, or that, I wasn't deserving or whatever. I was breaking down those core beliefs because I was around people who knew how to help me do that and who were doing it themselves, you see. Putting yourself around the people with the beliefs that you wish to have is very, very powerful. Coming around me, having a belief and a knowing, actually, that we are shifting to the fifth dimensional heaven on earth, peace, joy, love. Be around me, be around people like me if you want that. If you want to do that, you can be around me and people like me. And so there's so many ways nowadays. There's so many courses, A Course in Miracles, or the Abraham Hicks readings that we're doing now in the upper tier of my membership tiers. Very, very powerful for shifting and changing your beliefs, bringing the understanding of the cosmos into your head. The Saint Germain 33 discourses, same thing, so powerful. 33 discourses of the I Am Presence, so powerful for changing your belief. So there's like every tool out there possible, imaginable, to change your belief sets. So changing your belief is absolutely doable. The question here, though, and this is what it all comes down to, do you want to? Are you willing to? So many of us are so invested in being right. We would rather have some people would rather have the world come crumbling down into mass chaos just so they could be right, because they told you the world is crumbling down into mass chaos. The world is a piece of crap. This is what they believe, and they would have that world look like that so they can be right about it. This is a terrible part of human beingism, by the way. Many of us are like this. I'm telling you that Trump is not going to change this country, and it's going to be just as lousy as it always was. And they want that because that makes them right. You see, people want to have the United States crumble down to a mess to prove them right. So they can say that what they believed to be true was true. You see? See what I'm getting at? So it's not a matter of, there are ways to change your belief, and I can help you that, and many others of them, and you can find it online all over the place. But the question is, are you willing to change your belief from a belief in a world that is yucky and does not work for everyone to a world that does work for everyone? And in that case, you have to look and see every little belief that you have. Every time you have a thought or an idea that it's not going to work or that's not going to happen, in every little bitsy way that it could show up, that you're watching for that, and you're looking for that, and you're willing to change it. So how willing are you to give up that old ego in order to have that fifth dimensional heaven on earth? That's the question I'll leave you with today. And then put in the comments, what would you have to give up being right about to have that fifth dimensional heaven on earth? I'd like to know that. Okay, beloved ones, I'm sending you that beautiful fifth dimensional energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the bliss, the fun, the play, the ease, and the know like you know, like you know, like it is happening and causing it to happen. Here it comes. Namaste. I honor the God in you.